doing today? I'm doing pretty fantastic. Thank you for asking. Hello. I got dressed up like a little forest person. I have like the little elf ears on. Hair problems. That's not new. Does this look any better? I look like Bartholomew going to pick up milk from the neighbor. Y'all wanted the side swoop? You gotta put up with the side swoop bitching, okay? Damn it! But last month, y'all asked me questions for a Q&A. And the first question I got, I was like, you know what? This is gonna be a good video. You know why? Because the first question I got was, will you ever be on OnlyFans? I have no problem with OnlyFans. I have no problem with people doing OnlyFans. That's not the direction that I would like to go in my online personality and my online existence. I have a few friends that do OnlyFans and that's great. I have a few friends who do other stuff like that and it's great. You know, that's the direction they want to take. However, it's not the direction I want to take. So I would kindly like to ask for y'all to stop asking for me to do OnlyFans because it's not something I'm comfortable with. It's not something that I want to do for myself. That's just not something that I'm interested in. And that's just something y'all are gonna have to respect. And if you can't, then I will ask you to kindly leave or I will kindly block you. The best part about that question was it was very clearly done on a throwaway account, on a throwaway Twitter handle, because they're too much of a little bitch to use their normal Twitter handle to ask me that, so. Oh Lord, Piole asks, what music are you into besides K-pop, of course? Feel free to name some bands. Well, I listen to a lot of music. A little bit, it's like questionable, you know, because it goes from like K-pop, you know, obviously into K-pop, sea shanties. And then after sea shanties, you know, I've been listening to some Vocaloids. And then after Vocaloids, I listen to, oh, what's their name? I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, but so I think it's Amaranth. Not to get confused with the streamer Amaranth, but this is like a band Amaranth unless they're the same person. Next question comes from Brandon. Goes, best game you've been recommended. Funny you say that because there's two. There's two that come to mind. One of them is Stardew Valley. My little brother was like, oh, you're gonna like Stardew Valley if you like Harvest Moon. And I was like, no, it looks 2D. And then I, you know, ended up really like Stardew. There's three games. And then one of my friends recommended My Time at Portia, and I really enjoyed My Time at Portia when I played it. And then I kind of played too much and I got too much out. And then Oblivion, I was really into Oblivion, and then someone's like, oh, you should play Skyrim. Skyrim's gonna be the next Oblivion, but this one has dragons, and I was like, and so far Skyrim is still the #1 game in my entire existence so far. Next is Zelda, because, you know, also too, it's just a good game. I'm not saying that because I'm in love with Link. I'm not. It's a good game, okay? I think everyone can vouch for me in that it's a good game. Next question. Sam asks, if you had to fight Padme or Zelda to the death to win the love of Anakin or Link, who would you fight and why? First of all, Padme's already dead. Secondly, Anakin would kill me. Then with Link, you know, if I had to pick between Anakin and Link, if that's what you're really getting at, I'm sorry, but I would choose Link, okay? Anakin's great, but like Link, look at Link, come on. And another thing too, Zelda, have you seen the cutscenes in Breath of the Wild? I think I could take her. Granted, she can, you know, outlast Ganon's evilness or whatever for 100 years. Could I do that? Probably not, but that's not what we were discussing. We were discussing if like it's like hand-on-hand combat. If I like do like a to her face, who would last? Would she my face and then I would her face? Who would last? My last name is Witcher. I'll show you why my last name is Witcher. 4Pounder asks, truth is blank. So I have to say what the truth is, right? The truth is macaroni in a pot. That's some wet ass pussy. General Chulu asks, would you ever consider doing a cooking with Coot segment? The thing is with Coot doesn't talk. So I could do a cooking with Coot, but there would be no instructions unless I edited it on the screen. But then if we did cooking with Coot and editing with Coot, she would not leave the instructions on the screen. She'd probably leave it in the description, but not well. So if that's something y'all are interested in, then yeah, we'll do a cooking with Coot. But for the most part, it's up to you. It's up to you, really, at the end of the day. Carlos asks, what do you think of the knockoff Dr. Pepper sodas? I don't know. I haven't tried them because I'm not a trader. Andrew asks, would you rather be Princess Peach or Princess Daisy? I don't know. I don't know because I do like pink, but I also feel like Princess Peach is like a bitch. But then Princess Daisy, Who is she? Ooh, question. Is Princess, I don't know much about Mario lore. Is Princess Peach married to Mario and Luigi gets like sloppy seconds? And then on the reverse, is Princess Daisy with Wario and then gets sloppy seconds with Waluigi? And then, this sounds wrong. Slayman asks, if all of your paintings came to life, what would you paint? That's a dangerous question. That's a dangerous question. That's a bad, flowers. Lots of flowers. I'd paint lots of flowers. I'd make a meadow. You know, it'd be a wonderful meadow. Miles asks, why does it hurt to care? You know what? I ask myself that every single day, and as the days go on, I'm starting to wonder why I even care in the first place, if it just hurts, you know? So if you just stop caring, things stop hurting. Don't do that. That's a joke. Don't stop caring, okay? Listen, eventually you learn to deal with the pain that you were given. You learn to cope. You gotta go to therapy though. You learn to cope, you learn to grow, and you learn how to handle shit, okay? We're all building our own Lego houses out of bricks. Mine's gonna be a castle. I don't know what yours may look like the Elon Musk carbon house. I don't know. Does he live in carbon house or concrete? I don't know. I don't know why people think concrete and carbon look so nice when it doesn't look homey. But anyway, I would live in a barn. Anyway, besides the point. What was the point? Bride Dog asks, if you could only have one husband or husbando, who would it be and how would you tell the others you're leaving them? Okay, so if possible, one husbando. So husbando is husband or husbando. So the problem is, so I love Link, right? I love Link, but then it's also Benimaru from Slime. It honestly, like, I have other anime crushes, I have other game crushes, but when it boils down to is those two. And so if I had to like pick between them, it's hard because Link, it's, you know, my whole life, but then Benimaru, like, he's so handsome, he's so fun, and Link is so handsome, but it's just Link, you know, it's just like, it's such hard. So if I had to pick one, I don't think, I would choose death. Next question comes from Matthew, says, which planet would you live in the Star Wars universe? I feel like Endor would be kind of like a nice, or Kashyyyk. You know, I like the earthy tones with lots of water and forest and plants. I feel like those would be pretty good. Nothing with sand. I don't like sand. It's rough, coarse, irritating, and it gets everywhere. Speaking of Star Wars, Alex asks, what is your thoughts about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming out? Oh God, this is a deep question. Ben asks, once again, I'm fixing my ear while reading this very important, scary question. Ben asks, do you ever fear the idea that you've made incorrect career/life path decisions? And if yes, how do you reckon with it? Does existential dread set in? What is the best guess is the meaning of life? How does one live their best life? How will you live your best life? That's a lot, Ben. We'll take on the first portion of the steak you gave me, okay? Do you ever fear the idea that you've made an incorrect career or life path decision? No. What's very strange is this feels like what I was meant to do, because growing up, I never had something that just made sense. And when I was like, oh, I'm gonna get older, I'm gonna go to college, and I'm gonna, you know, get my own house, but I never really planned on what I wanted to do. I thought like, oh, I wanted to be a vet, you know, like all kids do. And then I was like, oh, well, I want to be, you know, an FBI agent. I want to do something like forensics. And then I saw like you have to do gross stuff with that. And I was like, I never really had like a drive to do anything. I liked art. There was a choice of me being a teacher, but it's like I could be an art teacher, but I wasn't good enough to be an art teacher. You know how like art teachers like, oh, you're gonna paint this, and they bring out a fucking masterpiece, and you're like, Miss Art Teacher, how did you do that? I would not be. They'd be like, Miss Art Teacher, look at my masterpiece, and I'd be like, oh, great. Oh, great. You're better than me. I think I've done pretty good based off what I feel comfortable with, and what I like to do. It was a discovery. But then again, it's like I always liked filming videos with my brother. I don't want to be like a director or anything, but just filming home videos, I love doing that stuff. And so it kind of makes sense, you know. And I also love playing video games, which makes sense with the whole Twitch thing. And so it just feels right. And honestly, I can't see me... Like, say hypothetically, I never got into this field, right? Say hypothetically, my life was on a completely different path. I got nothing. I don't know. And that freaks me out more than my current future. Thinking back, like, if something had changed, if I didn't, you know, if like, because when I got my MacBook, my dad's like, okay, I can either get you this laptop or you can go see the front row Jonas Brothers. Which ones do you want to do? And I was like, in the long run, the computer is going to be better. So I got the computer, and if I didn't get the computer, does existential, am I saying this word existential? Dread ever set? I don't know if I'm speaking English correctly. Does dread ever set in? The only reason why that, yes, so it does. The only reason why it sets in is because it's like, did I fuck up? Did I do something wrong? Did I miss out on an opportunity? But then at the same time, it's also like, oh God, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, what's gonna happen in 5 years? Am I still gonna be doing like internet stuff? I'm gonna be too old. I'm gonna be like, what, 33? Oh! You know, just take it as it comes. I can make big plans down the line if I want to change. That's the thing about life, is you can do pretty much almost whatever you want. If you want to move places, if you want to change the direction your life is going, if you want to have like new friends, cut out old friends, get a new place to live, get a new job, you can change stuff, you know, you're not stuck. The best guess as to meaning of life, I don't know. I think you should live life to make your life happy, but not be a dick to other people. Do what you can to make yourself have a good life. Bad things are gonna happen, just because that's unfortunately how life is. But how you react to it says a lot about you and your character. And you just do what makes you happy for as long as you can. As long as you don't hurt anyone, and as long as you're not a dick, okay? And then how will you live your best life? By doing what makes me happy, pretty much. I think throughout my years of living, I've gone through a lot of not good, but also a lot of good. And I think at the end of the day, what I've noticed more and more is spending time on myself and with myself. And I used to always say like, oh, at the end of the day, you're alone. You know, when you die, you're alone. Like at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. And like in a way, like before I used to look at that in like a really negative way, be like, oh, don't trust anyone else. But now I see it more of as like, at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. So put trust in yourself, love yourself, you know, work on yourself to become a better you. Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, you're stuck with it. You're stuck with this body. You're stuck with that reflection. You're stuck with what your heart says and your head says. So try to do what you can to make it better and just enjoy. There's nothing wrong with enjoying life. You are allowed to enjoy life, even if your anxiety says you aren't, if your depression says you aren't, if you have a bad family member that says you weren't, if you have a bad partner or friends who say you weren't. You're allowed to love yourself, and you're allowed to have a good life, and you're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to laugh at something dumb. You're allowed to go dance in the desert if you want to. You're allowed to feel good, okay? Don't let anyone tell you you're not. I've had plenty of people tell me stupid stuff like that. Like, oh, you can't do this, you can't. Yes, you fucking can, okay? Life's too short to have people shit on you, okay? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Sorry the Q&A was so long. And sorry I kind of went off at the end there. But you may have needed to hear it. So here we are. But yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for asking all the questions. I hope the answers were enjoyable and understandable and I didn't, you know, cross the line. I kind of went in, but I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day and all that fun stuff, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.